You've been taught that being attractive is about your looks, your face, your height, your money, but that is not what makes a man unforgettable. There are certain qualities a man carries that cannot be taught in a course, cannot be faked for too long, and cannot be copied from social media. And if you have even a few of these, then you're already an attractive man. Not because of your appearance, but because of your presence. So here are 7 unteachable qualities that makes you dangerously attractive. The first one is emotional control. An attractive man does not explode over small things. Let's say your woman cancels plan last minute. Instead of reacting with anger and passive aggression, you just simply say something like, no problem, let's reschedule. You're calm, unshaken. You see, that's emotional stability. One of the things that will make a woman feel very safe around you is when you have the ability to regulate your emotions. Now she knows that, oh, this guy is so cool and calm. I don't need to walk around him as if I'm walking on eggshells. And that is very attractive. Number two is self respect. You don't over explain yourself, you don't beg for attention. Let's say, for example, you've been asking a woman out for some time now and she's just as if she's not really forthcoming, you don't know what to make of her responses. In a situation like that, what makes you really attractive is your ability to respect yourself. Instead of chasing harder, you step back, not to manipulate, but because you value yourself. You value your time and your resources. You don't spend all of your time chasing a woman who is giving you mixed signals and you don't even know where you stand in her life. You see, a man who knows how to respect himself is a very attractive man. And one thing it does is that you teach other people how to treat you. Maybe she's just doing the initial shakara, she no one just greet sharp sharp. But then when you pull back, respect yourself, you don't beg and just crawl around her, then she just should gather herself and decide if she wants you or not. And most likely in a situation like that, she's going to come forward because that is how we are sometimes. When you chase us and then you pull back a little bit, we tend to come closer. You see that push and pull, sometimes we're like that. So in a situation like this, you respect yourself. That is key. Number three, purpose driven focus. When you have focus, you have direction in life, you know where you're headed. You don't just loiter around and just chase and, waste all of your time begging a woman to be with you. You have something going on in your life. When a man is purpose driven, he is very attractive. And do you know why that is? Women, most of us are future oriented. Once we spot a man like that, most likely we're going to stay with him. Why? Because we believe that a guy like this is going somewhere and eventually he's going to become somebody. And I want to be a part of that dream. For example, you can't talk on the phone all day because you're working or you're in training or you're even studying. Because sometimes some guys think that, okay, I can call my girlfriend or my woman for 2, 3 hours and we can just talk. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you really want to be attractive to that woman, you need to show her that you're a man who has clear discipline. Like you know when to indulge and when to just focus on your dream and life ambition. And that is it. That is one of the things that would make her see you as a very attractive man. Number four, integrity. You do what you say you're going to do. When you say you would show up at a certain time, you do that. When you promise to call, you do that. When you say you're not okay with something, you mean it. And this is a very, very important aspect of this whole being attractive as a man. Like if you keep shifting, it's like shifting your boundaries. For example, you say you're not okay with something, and then after a while, you just fall into it and you keep accepting it. You need to mean what you say. That is part of integrity. If you say you're not okay with your girlfriend, like still contacting and talking with her ex, then you mean it. If she does it, you call it out. You don't just condone it because maybe you feel like you don't want to stir the waters or you don't want to make any trouble. Or no, there's nothing like that. That in itself is going to make her begin to disrespect you. She'll see you as a man who does not have integrity, who cannot stand on his ground, and who doesn't even really know what he wants. When I say stand your ground, I don't mean being aggressive or trying to, molest her physically and all of that. No, far from it. You can say it calmly and be ready to walk away when she insists on that behavior. That is one thing that will make her sit up and realize the fact that, okay, this guy is not like every other guy. This one is different. So you don't shift your character because of who is watching. Consistency builds trust, and trust builds attraction. Number five, quiet confidence. You don't need to dominate every room just to prove that you're there or to prove that you're outspoken, you have all of the best ideas, you know how to articulate yourself. That is not confidence. Have you ever found yourself in a room with a man who barely speaks, but when he does, people just listen? Now you'll be wondering, but this guy seemed like a very quiet person. But the moment he opens his mouth, everybody's like, now that's the confidence I'm talking about. You don't need to be the loudest. You don't need to be the one that is shouting the most and doing the most. But then there's a certain way you carry yourself. You're confident in yourself. You don't need to say everything you know in one sitting. All right. You know, there are people who just want to let you know that they know all of the history, they know all about politics, and you know everything. But you're just there, confident in your skin, and that makes you very attractive. People are going to notice you, both men and women. And that goes to show that this is not about being the loudest, but you're composed, relaxed, observant, and you do not compete for validation. That calm certainty, very attractive. Number six, boundaries. You're kind, but you're not a pushover. If she disrespects you publicly, you do not argue in the moment. Later, you calmly say, I don't like that. Let's not do that again. No drama, no shouting, just standards. Boundaries create respect. If you do not maintain clear boundaries as a man, begin to do that today because I mean, the whole talk about attractiveness cannot even be complete without mentioning boundaries. That is one of the things women highly respect in a man. Be ready to walk away and shift yourself away from a situation or any dynamic that does not respect your boundaries. Because if you keep taking disrespect just because you want to be in that situation, then sooner or later it's gonna come knocking on the door and it doesn't always end well. Number seven, emotional independence. You enjoy connection, you like being around friends, hanging out, having fun, but you're not dependent on it. This means that even without friends, you can still thrive alone. For example, if someone walks away from your life, you don't just collapse and start complaining, whining, and it's almost as if you can't function well anymore. What do? You reflect, you learn, you keep building, you don't chase validation, you attract through stability. So attractiveness is not something you put on, it's something you carry. It comes from the inside. Looks and money can get you the attention. Oh yes, it will, but character keeps it. If you have emotional control, self respect, purpose, integrity, boundaries, emotional stability, and quiet confidence, you're already an attractive man. Not because someone says so, but because it shows in how you move. My name is Wendyzeal, and thank you so much for stopping by. If you found this helpful, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not done so yet. Until next time, bye bye.